as many maidens would be.
Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Welcome into everyone from, what's this guy doing, man?
What the fuck
What
is
is he
going
actually
on?
doing? Tone, what is it? Tone, what's this guy doing to us, man?
Kick him off, LB. Kick him off.
He can't fucking be here. He can't. I can't have him rubbing it in, man. This guy thinks he's like number one. Like he thinks it's the biggest tactical going now. He's gonna rub it in. Go on, let him have his fucking moment. Go on.
Oh, guys, I've been waiting for this. The heat I got in that stream last time, where I got laughed at. I got burning emojis in the chat. LB yelling at me, "No way, bro! Just no way! You know what you're talking about?" Like, shooting me down all over the stream. Felt bad about myself. Didn't really want to commit. You know, this is a big thing for me, being on this big platform, getting to speak about City. Tone shying away, didn't back me up, even though we're brothers. Horrible takes from both of them. And I think from here on and now, we should definitely listen to me for all tacticals. Calling both Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland not to start. I mean, nose ball. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. But I will keep this on the entire stream.
Amazing. Sorry, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, no. Fair enough. If the people that don't know what's fucking going on here and just looking at side thinking, what is this weirdo doing? In the last episode of this show, Sai said Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland won't start. To which me mainly, Tone kind of was like on the fence a little bit, but me mainly was cooking Sai, and now he's just, Sai knows ball, so it is what it is. Well, yeah, big show for you today, guys. Hopefully you're all well. Please make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed. For everyone that's following on Twitter, hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Make sure you are subscribed. I'm following myself on Twitter, Tone, at MCFC Tone. And if you want to follow this guy, Sai, who's knows ball apparently, you can do at Sai _ MCFC. Little bit of a different show today. I want to have a couple of debates because there's quite a lot flying around on this Ortega versus Ederson, and then the second half of the show we'll speak about Cole Palmer. Two debates at the moment that are going on Twitter with Manchester City fans with quite different opinions, to be honest with you. Let's start off with the Ortega versus Ederson. Obviously, Ederson's injured. We'll probably find out today in the press conference about. Probably actually in the next hour or two about where Ederson is up to with regards to his recovery. But there are quite a lot of City fans, to be fair. I've seen Tommy tweeting about it. I've seen quite a lot of other City fans tweet about it, about saying, actually, we should probably stick with Ortega even when Ederson is back from his injury because he's a better shot stopper. There's quite a lot of fans as well that are saying, actually, the gap between distribution between them is not as big as making out. And I have my saying that. But Tone, let me start off with you. Ortega versus Ederson, the goalkeeper debate. It is quite an interesting debate. I quite like reading people's takes on it. Where are you sitting on this one?
Ederson starts if he is fit. Ederson starts, in my view. Look, whoever starts, I'm happy with because they're both brilliant keepers. So it's not a massive drop off like we've perhaps had in the past, where if one gets injured, you're like, oh no. Both of them are brilliant, and both of them are brilliant in different ways. So that's good. But the most fundamental ways that City play, Ederson, in my view, is more suited to City. If I was, Everton or Palace manager, I'd probably want Ortega because he's a better shot stopper than Ederson. But the way City play, Ederson is the better keeper. It's the same with the Alisson-Ederson thing. Ederson's far better distribution than Alisson, but Alisson's a better shot stopper. I would rather have Ederson. I've seen quite a few people say, Ortega's distribution's fairly close to Ederson. His distribution's fine, but in my view, Ederson's is way superior to anybody.
I agree with you, Tony. I see quite a lot of people on Twitter saying the distribution isn't actually that far away. I actually completely disagree. Listen, I'm happy to say I think Ortega's shot stopping is clear of Ederson, but to say Ortega's distribution is not that far behind Ederson, I just don't agree with that at all. I don't. I think it's good, but I don't think it's anywhere as good as Ederson. And when I'm saying those words, please don't think I'm trying to say Ortega isn't good. He is. But Ederson is the best goalkeeper in the world with the ball at his feet, and potentially like maybe all time. Like I don't remember. Like people talk about Neuer. Neuer's nowhere near Ederson with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
If you're watching people, because he was the first to do it. A lot of people think he's best. No, that's not correct. So I agree with you on that one. Si, what you saying, bro? You obviously know ball, innit? So whatever you say, 100% correct.
Whatever I say goes. Yeah. No, I actually completely agree with both of you. I think if we could morph them into one goalkeeper, we would have the best goalkeeper in the world. I do think from a tactical point of view, Ederson just does so much for us in how we want to play. I don't know who said it, but I think it was Walker telling someone about Pep said, if Haaland drops deep, they will never be able to man mark. There will always be one player like free available if they press. And that's where Ederson comes in. Like he can pinpoint the ball from his own penalty area and then like to their penalty area, which is something I don't think Ortega is good enough at. Like he can, like you said, he had 100% pass accuracy in the game yesterday, but that wasn't any like difficult passes, like where Ederson will make the difficult passing, which can split an entire defense or midfield. And on the other hand, again, Ortega just makes more saves. I'm more comfortable with him in a one-on-one. I'm more comfortable with him making the world save. So I think it just depends. I still think that Ederson is the goalkeeper for us. But I mean, I am so confident and competent in Ortega, so I'm fine with it.
Let me throw something out for you. Yeah. Obviously, most people agree that in the Premier League we should play this more risky style of play because we need to win matches. Draws are killers, and you know the performance that we put in against Aston Villa. Yes, we were vulnerable at the back. We were vulnerable to counter attack, but we kind of most people kind of accept that risk for the reward that you get in the more chance creation and basically scoring more goals. So. In that sense, then, would it actually not be better to play Ortega if we accept that we're probably going to concede more chances because of the way we're playing, and we all accept that Ortega's a better shot stopper? Do we not think then actually that maybe Ortega should play? Maybe stick with Ederson in the Champions League if you want, if you want to go down that route. But actually, Ortega is actually the better goalkeeper for the way that we're playing.
I think that's a very good point. Also, what we've seen this season, even though it was also something that happened before. Like teams just staying so far back is such a low blocks, which mean they don't press us as they used to because we always destroyed them when they did that. So when you take that into consideration, having Ortega might be the right choice as of now for how we want to play and how we want to go, like going into these games, taking more risks.
Tom, what would you say? Do you agree? Like maybe it is the way to go because he is a better shot stopper. Or are you just saying Ederson's just clear?
Yeah, I'd still stand with Ederson. I think, like I say, if Ortega, if Ederson, he should be back. Maybe I don't know if he's back this weekend or just after, but when he's back, he starts. Look, I'm not going to sulk if Ortega starts. He's brilliant. But I still say, even in the Premier League, and I get your point, it's valid, but I still say Ederson's the better keeper for the way we play. We've got to play the strongest possible available team, bearing in mind we're playing every few days at the moment. And Ederson, in my view, starts every single game, which is why I think Ortega will go in the summer anyway.
Yeah. By the way, Matt O'Donnell, if you do want to get on, send me your Twitter out, and I'll send you the link. Tone, have you heard any news on the Ederson recovery? I mean, we probably will hear today from Pep Guardiola, but have you heard anything on the grapevine about how long he is? Because to be honest with you, like I thought we'd have him back by now. I thought we were just going to get him, but by the end of March, he's still not back. Any speculation about him potentially being back for tomorrow?
Yeah, he could be back for tomorrow or Tuesday. I think the original timescale, the latest was Real Madrid away, so that's Tuesday. So that was the latest. Excuse me. So it should be around now. He's training. He's certainly there, but he's clearly not 100%, which is why he's not. But he is certainly training. He's on campus. So yeah, hopefully he'll be a part of the squad tomorrow. And if he is, it really wouldn't surprise me if he's thrown straight in.
Yeah, well, that's my next question. You know, when like players get like Joe John Stones, for example, that guy come back from it, and maybe not John Stones is a bad example because he's biscuits. Let's speak about Nathan Ake, for example, or Grealish. Right? Let's speak about Grealish. So when Grealish comes back, you know, there might be one game where he's on the bench, but you know, you have to take a while with them because you know they're running. With goalkeepers, obviously it's slightly different because they're not really running that much, to be honest with you. They stay inside the penalty area. Maybe they come out a little bit once or twice. Would you say he's not available for tomorrow, right? Say he's still not fit, but he is fit for the Bernabeu. Would you throw him straight back in? Because you wouldn't really do that with outfield players, would you? You wouldn't throw them back in. If they've had one training session, you're not throwing a player back in. You say, no, they need more time. John Stones needs more time. Grealish needs more time. Like Grealish was on the bench. But with a goalkeeper, do you think that you could throw them straight back in?
Yes, I definitely do. If Ederson's fit and ready for Tuesday, he does. I see your point. If it's Grealish who hasn't, say, for example, played up until Tuesday, and he's just back a couple of training sessions like Ederson will have done, I wouldn't start Grealish because it would be his first game back and it's just an enormous game, and that is not the game to chuck an outfield player. Ederson's different. He's a keeper. If he's fit and ready, he's fit and ready, in my view, for the keeper, for the points you made. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, listen, I back Ederson. I think Ederson's a better all-round goalkeeper, but like, I have this like this thing that I believe, and I didn't make it. Like, obviously, it's a well-known thing, but like, if you've got the shirt and you're playing well, then keep the shirt, and that is honestly been my thing since I've been watching football. Like, I don't buy into this. Oh well, he's a better player. Blah blah blah. Like, if you're playing well and you're in form, I don't care what your name is. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how much you cost. I don't care how much of a legend status you've got. You should play. But then, where I do accept it sort of falls down is when it comes to goalkeepers. I'm kind of like, nah, soz Ortega. Even though you've been mint, Ederson's got to come back in. And like, I don't know why. I don't know why I do that with goalkeepers. I don't know why.
Well, we will have to see about with what Pep will do, because normally he has been choosing players on merit. We've seen it with Walker last season, Cancelo, and like he was last season where he actually were thinking about changing Ederson out for Ortega in the last end of the season before Ederson stepped up like dramatically. So if Ortega keeps doing really well and like he will keep his spot on merit, and I think that'll be fair. But I agree with Tone in the sense that I would prefer Ederson for the Champions League away game at Madrid, just for I think they will be pressing us more than what we're seeing in the Premier League. And when we get pressed, we need Ederson in the back to take off the pressure, because we know that he will like pinpoint the ball out of the pressure, so we can run into space. So I think a player should keep his spot based on merit, but I do also accept that it's sometimes different when it comes to a goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. I'm interested to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Make sure you get your comments in. If you're watching on Twitter, then if you actually click on the video, it should open a live chat function so you can get your comments in as well. Matt says, are we going to lose Ortega if he doesn't play more games, or is he going to be gone no matter what? Newcastle would be interested, even Chelsea. Well, listen, I don't think you're keeping Ortega. Unless maybe if you throw like 300 grand a week at him or some stupid thing that maybe he'll stay. But I just think that like he's just too good. He should be playing. You're absolutely right. He's better than the Newcastle goalkeepers. He's better than the Chelsea goalkeepers. You know what I mean? Manuel Neuer's out. Well, basically like done. You know what I mean? So could he go to Bayern Munich? There's going to be a lot of big clubs that need goalkeepers this summer, including Champions League sides, including his home country, Germany, and the biggest team in Germany, Bayern Munich, that could do with him. Now, slightly sad thing, he's only got a year left on his contract, so we're not in a mad, strong position there. But, he's not staying at City, bro. He's just not, you know what I mean? He's too good. He's too good to be a number two. And the interesting thing will be is how much we can get for Ortega in the summer, because if you look at some of the transfers that have gone on for goalkeepers, you look at Onana, you look at obviously Alisson, Ederson, you look at Kepa, some of these transfers are crazy value. So for me, if you got anything less than 30 million, I think it'd be ridiculous. I do accept that he's only got a year left on his deal, so you're not in a mad strong position, but good goalkeepers are a premium. You know what I mean? There's not that many around. So I think we've got to be strong with our valuation when we go in for Ortega. And when we replace him, you've got to replace him with someone who can play football with the ball at his feet, but is also, not like Claudio Bravo and lets everything in net. So I don't know. I mean, if you was in charge of City, lads, what sort of fee would you be looking for when it comes to Ortega?
Do you want to go, Si?
No, just I have a question for you after that. Just go.
Yeah, okay. Ortega, how much would I want? He's 31, isn't he?
Which is nothing for a goalkeeper, Tom.
Yeah. You get a good 5 years at least. If you mid-20s, maybe around 25 mil, somewhere around that target. 20-25.
I honestly would be slightly disappointed with 25 mil. I think he's better than 20. Yeah, but I mean, he's better than Onana. If you're telling me now, would you rather have Onana or Ortega? I'm not being funny here. Ortega is clear of Onana. Clear of him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing is he got a year left.
A year left on his deal. Yeah.
So that will factor in as well. Look, he's better than Onana. He's better than Ramsdale as well. He went for 40 million. So I know people are going to throw that, but I just think, right, we get 50, 60 for him. Maybe at a push we'll get 30.
Yeah, I was thinking 30. I would be happy with 30. Does anyone know how much his salary is? Like how much per week?
No.
It'd be low. I reckon about 90
because if it's not high, I think like he did make a statement yesterday about him and his wife having a second baby. Yeah. And he said it wasn't up to him completely. He loved the city, loved where he was, loved the team, everything. And it was like, it would be a discussion with her as well. And now having a second baby, does it make sense to like move to a new country, even maybe
55 grand a week apparently. How reliable that is.
Make that like 80 or maybe even 100, and then I'd probably say he might stay. Like the last thing I heard was that he turned down the latest proposal due to length of contract and money.
Yes.
So it's probably not. Yeah, so it's probably not like, and maybe the club have learned from last year with Gundo that
clearly fucking not, Si.
Well, we're not at the point yet. We don't know. So if they can give him, let's say a 4-year contract, right? There'd be 35, which is a decent age for a goalkeeper. Make it, let's say 75, 80 per week, right? I think that probably could convince him to stay. Added if he's also keeping his spot in the team on merit. So let's say he just gets like a run of games right now, and he keeps his spots based on merit. That will make him think and believe that if he just keep on performing and doing well in preseason and so on, he might even start next season, which is, I think, all that he wants is that if I prove myself on the pitch, I should be able to start, be the first goalkeeper until Ederson pushes me out of it. So I think there's possibilities he stays.
They should, mate, if they're messing around with this contract length, I don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Just give him an extra 3 years. That'll take him to 35. That's still nothing for a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? That's still you still can compete at 35 as a goalkeeper. But I mean, bloody hell, outfield players are now playing when look at Thiago Silva. So that's nothing. If they're messing around only offering a year, 2 years, just give him the 3 years. Give him even a 4 years. If he wants 4 years, man, that's 36. It's not ridiculous. And even if he does fall off by the time he's 36, he can move to the third choice keeper and get a second choice keeper anyway. So it's not even like a mad suggestion.
No, Jack Gorn, I think, reported something similar. So if that's right, it's right. If it is right about the length, sorry, I mean if Jack said it, it will be right about the length and stuff of the contract. But if people say about the baby and all this sort of stuff, and that, this is where though he may reroute and go back to Germany and so on. So there's also that way of looking at it about, oh, well, they might want to stay in Manchester, but they might want to reroute now for family reasons as well. So I wouldn't look too much into that side. I think if it's a yay or nay, is he at City next season? I'd probably say he won't be, because I think he's far too good to be a number 2 keeper, firstly. And secondly, just little comments he's made about wanting to play more, and he's at the age now of a keeper where he needs to play, and if he's going to play, it needs to be now, and he can play for pretty much any team in Europe, like you said, Bayern Munich straight away.
Yeah, no, 100%. The only other thing that he might look at is, does he think that genuinely he has an opportunity of displacing Ederson and putting him in there? Does he think that he can be better than Ederson and maybe be picked? I don't think like I said, even though I think Ederson's distribution is clear, Ortega's isn't bad, and he's a better shot stopper. You know, no one can disagree with that. So, you know, if he signs a new contract at City, 3-4 years, he's getting big cash, he's going to win trophies. And there's no guarantee that yes, it's likely, but there's no guarantee that he will be number 2 for forever. There is a chance that maybe he could overtake Ederson. I don't think that's ridiculous, but like Tone said, you could take the easy option and not the easy option. That sounds a bit disrespectful, but the guaranteed option of going to a Bayern Munich, which is a mad club, and playing. So yeah, let's see what happens there. It will be interesting to see. Still not signed a new contract at City. Will he sign one? Time will tell. Guys, we're going to move on to Cole Palmer. For everyone that's watching on Twitter, we're going to end the stream on Twitter now. If you do want to carry on tuning in and listen to the Cole Palmer discussion, should Manchester City have sold Cole Palmer? People say, oh, well, he wanted to leave. Well, so did Walker. He stayed. We're going to carry on this discussion and preview tomorrow's game, City going to Crystal Palace, early kickoff. I have just tweeted just a second ago on my Twitter account. If you want the link to come and watch on Twitter, then hit that. But for now, everyone on Twitter, big up to you guys. And yeah, peace out. Right, we are now live on YouTube only. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Please make sure you drop a like and make sure you are subscribed. Should Manchester City have sold Cole Palmer? Now, we know he wanted to leave, but apparently only wanted to leave on loan. This is what he said. And Manchester City said, no, if you're leaving, you're being sold. Do you think that City handled this? Let me come to you first on this, Tone. Do you think City handled this right? Should we have done more to convince him to stay? Should we have loaned him out? What's your thoughts on this? Because again, this is another thing on Twitter that's getting City fans like not arguing but debating.
Yeah. I think it's right for all parties to move. I think it's right for Cole Palmer. He's playing well, he's scoring. This isn't meant as a disrespect. It does come across that way, but he's doing very well in a team that is sat in mid-table. I think they're 12th now, point off 13th or something, which is balmy. And that isn't meant as disrespect to Palmer, but I would want to see, sorry, I've got a bit of a funny throat. I would want to see Cole Palmer, you know, if or when Chelsea start competing at the top end and that, is he still going to be the main man? Will he still even start? He's starting now and impressing now in a team that is flopped massively. And again, that is not disrespect to Cole Palmer. He's playing, he's scoring, he's playing well. He's up for Young Player of the Year. Southgate probably won't pick him because he's a numpty. I think it's right for City. They've got decent money. Obviously, if he continues on his upward trajectory, then you know you could argue that fee. But right now, I think City got decent money last summer, so I think it's good for him, good for City. I don't really see a negative, really. I don't think he would start for City now, in my view. I just don't think he would.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. Should City have signed Doku? Because ultimately that's why he left, I imagine.
Yeah,
he saw. Okay, Mahrez is leaving, buzzing. I'm going to get more game time. He might have seen Bernardo there and thought, okay, yeah, I might not play every game, but Mahrez is gone, so you know I'm going to get more game time. Whereas now, he then seen Doku was signed and went, well, bloody hell, what's going on here then? I'm just back into spot one, and people say, well, Doku's a left winger, but he wasn't. He was a right winger at Stade Rennes. So when he was signed, he probably thought, I'm not going to play. So do you think we made the right move there?
That's a tricky one. That is a really good question. Doku's had a mixed bag at City. I don't mean to sound like a politician here and sort of ignoring the question, but Doku has had a mixed season, I would say. He's just finding a bit of form now. I thought he played well again the other day, by the way. It's really difficult to judge because I stand by that Palmer is shining in a team that has ultimately, I mean, you could argue Chelsea have had the worst season of a team in years based on the money and so on, the resources and all that sort of thing. I don't think Palmer would be starting at City, so it's very difficult to answer that question. I think actually, if you I think we're right to bring Doku in because I think Palmer would kick off this season because he clearly wanted game time, and I don't think he'd have got it at City. I really, really don't.
So, what you saying?
Yeah, I don't agree. So I think that Palmer would have gotten quite a few minutes at City. I don't think he ever expected of starting every game, and he wouldn't have. But like at the time, selling Palmer, I think was a good deal. It was good for everyone, every party's involved. Like the club got good money for it, all profit. Palmer got his ways of playing football day in, day out, and Chelsea got a very talented prospect who's doing incredibly well. And then the whole discussion about how would he have been performing at City, I mean, we'll never know. I think his quality, I've always liked him. I was a bit sad when he left, but what's done is done. I think every party's still happy about the choices they made, and I do think he would have been a baller for us. Like, we couldn't have foreseen how our season would pan out with injuries and so on, how we would play, but he definitely had that X factor we've been lagging, where nothing's happening. Someone just have to do something, and he tries that all the time. He even tries it too much when he played for City last season, right? But I think he's doing so good. I know he's a lot of his goals penalties, but I mean, we've been crying out for missing penalties for like 15 years or something, right? And he's putting them in like comfortably every time. So I mean, yeah, don't compare him to Foden, but give him his praises. Like, scoring penalties is something we appreciate a lot here in City. So yeah, I'm a bit sad.
Yeah, no, because I don't think we should have sold him personally. I thought it was a mistake. Said it at the time. But if Oscar Bob would have got some more minutes, this season, then to be honest with you, probably people are asked. You remember when Oscar Bob come on against Newcastle and scored the last minute winner? No one was speaking about Cole Palmer then. So it's just, I think it's more just sort of like City not playing because we didn't play yesterday. Palmer does well. Oh, we shouldn't have sold him, and we shouldn't have sold him. But if at the same time, when Doku plays well, no one's asked. So I just think for me, it's one of them like. I don't think it was the correct thing to sell him personally, because I seen his quality. I knew he was quality. And he wasn't given the opportunity to play in his correct position last year. But just a reminder, guys, he played 9 minutes right wing, last season. But ultimately, it is what's done is done. We ain't getting him back. We've got players like Oscar Bob to come through. Obviously, you've still got Hamilton, who played against Red Star, scored a great goal. Never seen him again. Where will he be? Is he still in the plans of the development of the club? So it is what it is. To answer the question simply, was selling Palmer a mistake? Yeah, it probably was. But was it a gigantic mistake? No. We got 45 million, which is decent cash. That's straight profit for the accountants out there who love that sort of stuff. And we had Oscar Bob still coming through, who looks a real prospect and is good. So it's one of them, man. I thought he's slamming it. Congratulations to him. I would have liked him, but it is what it is. He's done what he's done. I do want to turn our attention now to Palace, but you guys got anything else to say left on Palmer before we move on to tomorrow's big game?
Yeah, just no offense to Palmer, but I'm not having sleepless nights about losing Palmer. Other players I have, but not Cole Palmer. And good luck to him. And I hope, well, not so much Chelsea get better. To be honest, I don't really care, but I hope he continues to get better and better and better and better, and has a really great career. Good luck to the lad. He was brought up in the City Academy, and I wish all those players well, all of them.
Yeah. I literally just said it was a mistake, bro. Bro, I literally just said it. I literally said it 10 seconds ago. I said it was a mistake. There we go. Right, okay. Let's move our attention then to tomorrow's game, Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park. And it's a place, it's a team that we've not got the best record in the world. And it's a team at the moment that are 14th in the league. They've not won a game in the last 4, but they've only lost 2. They've drawn 2, lost 2. City win tomorrow, we can go top of the table. If we win by 4 goals or more, it would have to be a 4-goal swing in the goal difference, which is possible. It's not completely out of the realms of possibility. I'm just looking at the win, by the way. Tomorrow's not a goal difference game for me, but Crystal Palace away tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff, bogey team, early kickoff. It has the makings of a potential banana skin, But
Yeah.
you know that cannot happen tomorrow. We have to go and win, bro.
Yeah, as I said last time we did this, I wasn't like that afraid of playing Villa. I thought that Crystal Pass away would be a much tougher game, and
You did say that. You did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not fearful, but I'm nervous for the game, and I have like if we win this, I think that would probably catapult us to winning the rest of the games. I think that will be the edge we need. We've been saying that so many times, but that has always been my like tipping point for the running this game. And what it looks like the Palace is a bit like they have a lot of injuries, like important injuries. Not saying that will help, probably be more difficult to us because they will probably just sit back. And I'm looking forward to how we will set up. If he will go with the same lineup, same tactics, but a few changes in the lineup. But nothing but a win again. Like give me a scrappy 1-0. I don't care. This is just win it. 1-0, doesn't care. Like a fluke goal, a cheat goal, I don't care. Just give me 3 points tomorrow, and I think we get it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Tona, how do you see this game going? Also, do you think we should stick with the same team? Because that's another debate. Any changes in the starting 11?
Yes, I would. I would make changes in the 11. I think it's a very tough game, Palace, and I agree with Ty. And I agreed with him at the time when he said that this would be tougher than Villa. I think this will be very tricky. 1-0, 2-1, maybe 2-0, late goal. Somewhere along those lines. You know, the last couple of games we've played at Palace, I think we've won 1-0 and drawn 0-0. I think that's right. Although I don't think we've conceded a goal to Palace at Palace in the last 4 years. I thought I saw somewhere. I'm sure you'll have something up that will maybe disprove what I've just said, but I think that's right. I think it's 4 straight clean sheets for us at Selhurst Park. I think so. Our records there is not as terrifying as I probably thought it was. I thought it would be worse than that, but it's always close. It's always a close game, and I think it will be tomorrow. But yeah, I would make changes to answer your question. Yeah, for sure.
What would you do?
The De Bruyne and Haaland thing, isn't it? About whether they come in. I think they will both come in. I think they'll both play.
I don't know, man. I definitely start Haaland over Alvarez 100%. But I part of me, and I know I shouldn't do this because it's going against my rule of one game at a time. But part of me, and I guess it's not really due to this, but part of me is just save Haaland not save Kevin De Bruyne for Real Madrid. You know, do we really need Kevin De Bruyne to start tomorrow? Can Foden not do it again? I play the same team. I just swap Haaland for Alvarez. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
do you not think De Bruyne needs sharpness? Sorry, Si.
I'd give him 20 minutes at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right.
I would do a super sub with Kev for tomorrow as well, but I would change Akanji for Stones for this game. Stones need a few minutes before Madrid. Stones ain't like a type of player who just comes and perform. He needs some minutes to get his fitness and game level up. That would be the two different switches I would do for the team tomorrow.
I'm not against that. I'm not against putting John Stones in. I'd only give him 60 minutes. You know,
60 minutes. Yeah,
but I'm not against that. And Akanji's played a lot of football this year, so he maybe could do with a rest. So yeah, I'm game for that. Akanji out, rest. Stones in 60 minutes. Swap Alvarez for Haaland and run the rest. KDB, give him 20, 30 minutes at the end. And the same with Akanji, just whack him in for the rest. Rico Lewis, let me ask you about him. He's come in against Arsenal, done really, really well. He started the game against Aston Villa, again, played really, really well. Do we start him again at Crystal Palace? And if we do, is he a player that maybe is going to be super important for the rest of the season? Because it potentially looks like that. We don't know what's going to go on with Walker. It sounds bad. They say maybe he'll be back for Real Madrid, but it doesn't sound great.
Yeah. Oh, you go.
You go.
In terms of Walker, he's not discounting himself for Real Madrid away, which was told is very unlikely, but not impossible. So it sounds like he might be back for the home leg anyway. So that's good news, and possibly Luton, give him a few minutes in that one. But Rico Lewis, I think he will start tomorrow, and I think he should start tomorrow. And I think John Stones should start tomorrow. Perhaps Kanji come on for the last half hour for Stones. Rico on the right, inverted. But if somebody said to me, Rico Lewis is going to be one of your key players between now and the end, I would be a little worried about that. And that's not to criticise Rico. I thought he played really well the other day. I'd be concerned if he's one of the main men for between now and the end of the season. And what we're looking
I'm concerned if it's Champions League. I'm not concerned if it's Premier League.
I think it depends on the opposition. Like, I think he will be perfect for tomorrow against Palace. I think he is. Even if I had Walker, I'd probably play Lewis in this game. I think he slots him perfectly in midfield. I would definitely go for Lewis, but having him as my primarily right back for the rest of the Premier League games, wouldn't do that. I would probably go with Kanji when we have a fully fit back line, even in the Premier League. Just going back to the lineup for tomorrow, I wouldn't play Bernardo tomorrow. Just getting that out there.
Agree. Yeah, agree.
So, yeah, I'll rest him for Madrid. We would definitely need him. Like, he's been playing a lot. Get him ready for the game in Madrid, because he will be pivotal there. Then we should talk about who should slot into midfield instead of Bernardo for the Palace
I've got
game.
the answer, but you're not going to like it.
You're going to say Nunes.
Kovacic?
I can see it in your eyes. No, he's saying Nunes.
No, I'm not saying Nunes.
You're not saying Nunes?
No.
It can't be Oscar Bob.
Don't tell
That's
you.
a double pivot.
I'm playing Alvarez.
But then you have to move Foden back. We were playing a double pivot.
No, don't. John Stones can push in. Bernardo Silva didn't
Well,
really play
true.
that deep.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva against Aston Villa was basically starting on the edge of the penalty area because Conte was marking him the whole game.
But Stones won't invert tomorrow as Lewis is playing. That won't happen.
Oh, Rico Lewis can go in there. You don't need.
he will.
But plus again, I say you've got to lean to the attack. You've got to take the risks. You've got to score goals. You've got to win.
I agree. No, I'm with you actually on this, LB. And also, I did in the game. In the first half, I didn't think Foden was that good. I know he did a hat trick and it was fucking amazing, but he didn't start well. But what I liked with him and Alvarez was all this small passes in small pockets, and I think that will be key against Palace. So yeah, I think I would throw him in here as well. It's a good shot, LB.
I fucking told you.
Finally,
I know
finally.
What do you mean finally? All right, let's try and build something out then. So let's imagine that Ortega is going to be playing. Rico Lewis will play in that right back position, but we'll invert. We'll just put this on paper, yeah, and then Diaz can play with John Stones and Gvardiol. Gvardiol or Ake? Ake's injured.
Gvardiol. Ake won't play.
Yeah.
Okay.
She should probably switch Diaz and Stones. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Rodri midfield again because we have no other player who can play that position. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. We're almost at the end of match week 32.
Isn't this 32? No.
Yeah, but there's a bit of confusion going on. People are saying it's not when you play 32 games; it's done on the match week. But surely that's not right. What about if you have 4 games? What about if you have like 4 games rearranged?
No idea. Actually, that's a good question. I've never thought about that.
I don't think it's done. I think it's done I think it's done on games. I think it's done on like how many games a club plays. So I think
you're right.
Yeah, I think it's when we get to it might not. I don't know if anyone in the
would be the Luton game, right?
Yeah. So how many games we played? 30. So 2 more matches. Yeah. So after Luton, I think it's after Luton. I don't think it's match week.
Doesn't it reset at 32? No.
I think it resets 32? After 32 games, not match.
Okay.
I don't think it's match week 32. Because what about if you've got like 4 rearranged games? Then your club's benefiting from having disallowed like rearranged games.
True. But
maybe in the chat someone can let us know anyway. So you got Rodri in there. Okay, so this is what I do, yeah?
Yeah.
People are going to hate this. I play Alvarez off of that left, Foden off the right, And then, do you know what? Yeah, I'm game. Drop Bernardo Silva, Doku, Grealish. This is definitely not happening, by the way. This is 100% not happening. Well, that's what I do.
Hey, what did you say last time?
Yeah. Oh, but you saying this? You do this as well. You think this is actually possible?
I think this is how I think we should go, and I think there's a big possibility that we will see the same lineup. But I think Pep will go with Kevin in midfield. But I would go with this, but I do think he will go with Kevin in midfield and give him like 60 minutes. But this is how I would do it.
Agree.
Yeah, because they're basically people say it's too aggressive. So basically, like Grealish and Doku have to hold the width. Yeah, they have to hold the width to stretch the game. Haaland obviously pushed forward. Alvarez will go into that Bernardo Silva spot, which was like here, which then makes their right back make a decision, because this is what Consa did. Consa decided not to mark Grealish. He marked Bernardo Silva, who in this situation is Alvarez, which meant Grealish had loads of space. Rodri would have to push up there towards the left. Stones would have to push up towards the middle, and then Foden effectively gets this sort of area, which is where he scored. He obviously scored the goal here, and then he scored the goal for where he smacked it. And then obviously you have Rico pushing in, Diaz pushing in, and Gavadio pushing in. That's how I would do it. I would basically just swap Bernardo Silva for Alvarez, Doku obviously on the wings, and Haaland for Alvarez.
Who do Palace have who is quick? Elise ain't playing, so who? Well,
Elise is apparently a 50-50. Yeah, I'll go through their injury list at the moment, Matt. So we're going to hear today from their injuries, but this is Crystal Palace's injury list. Johnson is still out until the rest of the season, by the looks of it. Decore is out. Rob Holding looks like he's going to be out as well. Gueye out. Christopher Richards, not sure what's going on there. Edouard out. Elise is a 50-50 because they reckoned the Bournemouth game, which was the last match, was a little bit too early. Obviously, now it's going to be a case of, is he going to be available for the game tomorrow? He's going to basically be 50-50. Who do they play after us? They play Liverpool, man. I was going to say if they had like an easy game, maybe they'd rest him for that, but they might just think, what's the fucking point? You might as well go for it. Who else they got injured? Not sure who that is. Yeah, so they do have a few injuries, but I don't know.
Just to say, and I'll say, he so Palace in the know chat was saying that he trained, so I think he's probably going to play bench at worst, but he should be available by the sounds of it. So he should play. But just looking at that team there, LB, you had up the pitch thing. Yeah, I would have. I wouldn't have Alvarez in. I think if you're going to have Alvarez in, it will be in place of Doku, and De Bruyne will play in that spot next to Foden, because you've got Rico and John Stones who can step in to help Rodri in that middle bit. De Bruyne loose, Foden loose, and then I'd just start that team. I would literally just swap Alvarez out for De Bruyne. But I do think if Alvarez plays, it'll be instead of Doku.
You know what also could be quite a big possibility, because Grealish will be so important against Madrid, and he's just coming back from injury and played all 90 minutes against Villa, didn't he?
True.
He might actually get arrested for this, and maybe playing Bob, because Bob will be suited well for this game as well.
Nah, this game for me, is what I call the 60-minute job. Yeah, you want to get in, get the game won after 60 minutes, if possible, and get out. Yeah, so for me, I'm not starting Bob in the game. I'm starting Grealish. I'm starting these players. And after 60 minutes, hopefully we're winning by 2 clear goals. Yeah, funny, because we that's what we were doing against them in the home game and then drew. But then then you get these players off. I don't want, because what'll happen, bro, you start some of these players who, and say, oh, these players, we need to save them for Madrid. And then after 60 minutes, you're not winning. And then you throw the big lads on, and then you all of a sudden, you're panicking. Players are stretching for things that they shouldn't be doing because they're desperate to get the win. It's the other way around. You start your Grealishes, and you start your Haalands, your Fodens, your Stones, your Rodris. You get the game won, and then get out.
I agree totally. I'm just saying, with the months of injuries to Grealish, and when he started games, he got off injured early on, right? So there might be a bit of precaution for that. Just when we might even have Walker. So imagine losing a pivotal player for a tactics from Madrid as Grealish, which is just why I said what's that.
Yeah, that's what it could be. Doku, right? Alvarez coming in off the left. He's done it before, so it's a tricky one with Grealish. He's so key, like you said. I think Grealish will start. I think he'll do an hour. I know we've said about 4 players are doing an hour, but you make 5 subs, I guess. But I'm with LB. It's an hour. Try and get the game won. You don't want to come across as arrogant or sort of throw Palace aside. They've got a new manager and all that sort of stuff. But if you can get 2 or 3 with an hour to go, half an hour to go, then you start making the Oscar Bob changes. I wouldn't be starting Oscar Bob.
You know the other thing I'd say, about the injuries, right? A big up Science Silver, by the way, says no one wants to see Alvarez in midfield. I don't technically have him in midfield. He's playing as like a really advanced player in my team. Here's the thing with the injuries, right? I know people get worried about it and that, but like, you can't just go through the season going, oh, but we can't play them because what if they get injured? Like, I just go like, what will be, man. Play the players. If they get injured, deal with it. If the squad's at the end of the day, Pep has a small squad. This is one of the risks. You gotta play the players. If they get injured, it is what it is. You then deal with it in the next game. But what you don't do is go, oh, don't play them because people say, oh, don't start Grealish, don't start Kev, don't start Stones because if they could get injured for Real Madrid. You know what you could do? You could not start them against Palace, lose or drop points, go Real Madrid. You know what could happen? First 5 minutes, injured.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Vincent Kompany when we played there with Pellegrini. We went there and he got injured within the first 5 minutes. Like you can't go through this season going, you can't do this, you can't do that because injuries. Like play your team, get the game won, protect the players by all means once the game's won. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're not in October now. We can't. Oh well, we drop. We'll be fine. We've got 25 games left. We're now in crunch time. Palace, like Si said, cannot be taken lightly, and they won't take it lightly. There'll be no start. No offense to Oscar Bob, but, he's a good player, but he won't be. I'll be staggered if he starts tomorrow. Absolutely amazed.
I think we agree on the team we should play. It's just sometime, as I showed you, lovely gents last time. Sometimes Pep, thinks further forward and have plans, and he trusts the squad. I think that's something people should just accept. He trusts every single player in that. Okay, maybe not every single player, but almost every player in that squad to do the job. But I'm pretty sure he will go with what we just put on the screen as well.
Yeah, well, but it's interesting though. One thing I was thinking about is a week or 2 ago, fair few, I think we've discussed it, that Kovacic would be key in the running. And yet he's not going. He's not.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
You tell me why? Because he would have been key in the running if we was top of the table.
Yeah,
but we're now not at top of the table. Yeah. And Kovacic is a player, where you play to have control of the game and you don't really want to lose the match. Yeah. But we're not in that situation anymore because we need to win football matches and not draw football matches. So there's a very good argument that you might want to start Kovacic at Bernabeu. Very good argument. Yeah. Maybe even the Spurs game. Maybe when we go Spurs, maybe you want to start in there. 100%. But these games now where you're playing Luton, Crystal Palace, these are games where a draw or a loss is a disaster, and in my opinion, would end our Premier League campaign. You have to win football matches. So it's just the way that the results have gone. If we would have been top of the table and we could have, like for example, Liverpool, not on Arsenal, but on City, can afford to draw a single game and still stay above us. So for them, a draw is not a disaster. It's not great because Arsenal could overtake him. But it's not a disaster. For us, a draw is good night. Yeah. That's why he's not playing.
Yeah, as we said, we kind of need not full send it, still full send it due to the draws we've been accumulated through the season. The draws against Liverpool and Arsenal kind of sealed Kovacic's fate in the way that he won't be that pivotal for us in most of the games the rest of the season. It will be specific games, Tottenham away, Madrid, both home and away, depending on the result away, and playing Bayern or Arsenal maybe in the semi-finals if we get there. And also, I would say against Chelsea in the semi-final, he will be pivotal as well there.
I'd also say as well, he's still got a big part to play because in the games that we do go 2 or 3-0 up, if we do that, you throw him on to say, right, your job now, is to not lose, is to get us out of this game for 30 minutes without losing or drawing the game. That's your job. So I just think for me, Tone, it's just the way the results have gone. You need goals, and Kovacic. I mean, Rodri's probably scored more goals this season than Kovacic has scored in his career. You know, that's just why he's not in the team.
I think that's true.
Big up to Chicken Wings says we need to win that game tomorrow. Bet on it. Arsenal or Liverpool is dropping points this weekend. Well, they both got tricky games, and we play first. We get our job done, and then sit back and relax and watch what else happens. But we gotta get our job done first before you even think about the Arsenal or Liverpool game. And Palace can be a tricky place to play football. You know, we just got to go there and apply ourselves properly. And like I say, I'll say it. You got to win 9 games out of 9. 1 down, 8 to go. Yeah, it's a tricky game tomorrow, of course. You win tomorrow, we're down to 8. We're down to what? 8 games left? 7 games left? 7? Come on, man.
7, I think.
Yeah, 7 games. It's on.
Yeah, I think Arsenal and or Liverpool will drop points this weekend. I don't know which one's more likely, actually, just looking at it from the outside. You never know on the day. They both might win 5-0, and they're both capable of doing it. But Arsenal certainly will have one eye on the Champions League. They've got Bayern Munich in a few days, and they're not used to it right now of looking at such a massive game in their season. So they could have one eye on Bayern Munich, Arsenal. I think they could drop points.
They rotated so much this in their game against Luton. I actually think Arteta's managing so well. I think the biggest possibility of either Liverpool or Arsenal dropping points would be Arsenal this weekend. I don't think Liverpool would drop points. Like United is so shit. They are
bad.
So incredible shit. And I don't. They have like one central defender left. Like the entire back line is just decimated. There's no way that they will get a draw again against Liverpool. No way.
Yeah, but listen, I'm going to watch the games, but I'm just thinking about ourselves. Like, if the gods are on our side and Liverpool and Arsenal end up dropping points from now to the rest of the season, which we need to win the league, then great. But we should just focus on ourselves. Honestly, we really should. We should just focus on these next 8 games in the Premier League and say, we win them, let's see where we are. If we win our next 8 and don't win the league, fair fucks to Arsenal or Liverpool, because they've got to have done the same pretty much. If we don't, then it's on ourselves, and it is what it is. That's my position. Big up to Sign Silver says, why not play Nunes? Palace are going to play low block, terrorist football. We need someone who can keep the ball. Nunes, any shout for Nunes in the side, lads? I mean, you did think I was going to say Nunes earlier.
Yeah, I could see him actually play. Let's say he chooses to rest KDB completely for Madrid, and we have this spot open in midfield. I haven't seen that many Crystal Palace games after the new manager, I have to admit. So I'm not quite sure on how they play, but as I understand, they're a bit more forward-thinking now, which would leave more space than what we are used to at Selhurst Park. And that's something Nunes would be able to exploit. So I think it's a decent shout of playing Nunes, and he needs minutes. Like
where would you play him in this system, bro?
I would play him instead of Alvarez.
All right, instead of Alvarez.
Yeah, if Grealish doesn't start, I'd be tempted to start him out there, and it did go through my head when we were talking about him earlier about Nunes. But I'll be honest, if it's between Nunes and Alvarez, I'd start Nunes in that position right there. I'd probably go Nunes for what Sai said about space. Nunes is quality in space, and he needs minutes. If he doesn't start any of the next 3 games, there's got to be talk about him in the summer. There has to be, because he's just not playing.
They wouldn't sell him in the summer, but next summer maybe, I think. If he just keeps not like being the perfect replacement.
The Luton one's huge. If he doesn't start that, then
that would be a big game for him.
Yeah. Facts. Some interesting news coming in from Craig here. Said, I also told LB that if Olmo did join City, it'd be Bernardo replacement. It would not affect the Paqueta deal, as he is seen as KDB long-term replacement brought in now to be added in. It says Craig. Interesting. Yeah, Danny Olmo he's constantly been linked with City over the years, and apparently City did go to them to inquire about him last summer, but they were like, we've already sold 2 of our big players. We can't sell another one, which is fair enough, really. But big up to Craig for the information. Listen, guys, we are going to wrap it up, man. There you go. So some good, decent debates there, some decent topics. Earlier on, we spoke about Ortega versus Ederson. Who is the better goalkeeper? Should Ortega stay in goal now for the rest of the season? If you've just joined us late, maybe rewind and go watch that right at the start of the stream. Then we spoke about Cole Palmer. Was selling him a mistake? Should City signed him? Should City sign Doku and sold Palmer, or should we have not signed Doku and kept Cole Palmer in? And then, of course, we ended with the Crystal Palace talk. We've got the Saeed reaction video up on the main channel. I did that earlier on this morning. I was out last night, so I couldn't do it. So go check that out if you fancy a bit of a laugh. I'm now going on a Twitter Spaces live with Stefan on Citizens America, so you guys can come and check that out if you want to even more Crystal Palace talk. We'll be live on Twitter Spaces live in just a second, and then tonight I'm going to do another live stream at around 9 p.m. So content never stops. And then, of course, we've got the live watch along tomorrow. Starts at 11:30 UK time in the morning, early kickoff. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the show. Tone, as always, thank you very much for coming on, man. I appreciate it. You guys can find Tone on Twitter at MCFC Tone, and of course to Sai, who has enjoyed today because he is right. There you go. That's his at on screen, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash a like. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching back on replay, give us your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And guys, we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.
Bye.